Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to connect with our Friday Hamilton community. I'm trying it by video because I've been finding that it sort of feels comforting to see people's faces for a change and hear their voices. So I'm going to share my message this way. If you don't want to watch the video, you don't have time, you'd rather just read it, then I'm posting the text of my message as well. So you can just stop and go down further on the website and have a look at the actual written message. But I did think that I would like to connect in this way. I wanted to make sure, first of all, that everybody received the letter from Dr. Rogers that to all families in our board. There were a few key things in there that I really want you to keep in mind. One is that the health and safety of our students, our families, our staff is the number one concern right now. So, yes, school is about academic learning, but more important than that is your safety. So, that is the first thing to know. Schools are closed for these 2 weeks, and over that time, each school will be thoroughly cleaned. And during the 2 weeks, if families are able and would like to access some learning activities for students, the board has some learning activities online that you can access that are safe and educational. Those are optional things. They're not going to be graded. They're not part of a report card. They're just some optional activities for at-home independent learning. The ministry also has some things online. They've launched phase 1 of their Learning at Home portal, and there are some more optional independent learning activities on there for students. Minister Lecce has said that schools will not reopen on April the 6th. Phase 2 of the Learn at Home program will launch that day. So these 2 weeks are a little bit of a bridge towards that phase 2, which would be a longer term approach. I believe no one knows when schools will open. It's very uncertain, but phase 2 will be more of a longer term approach. During this little bridge window of 2 weeks, there's no connection with teachers. Families can just go on and look for an activity, and kids can work independently or with mums and dads, grandmas, aunties, whoever's around to do that if you're able. We are entirely aware of the fact that you might be a healthcare professional and your child might be going to daycare and there's no one to do this learning with them during the day. You might be working from home and unable to spend hours of your day doing online learning with your children. You might have elderly relatives or neighbors whom you're helping and all kinds of commitments. So please understand that these learning activities are there if you want them and if they're helpful to you, but they are optional. There is also a message from Dr. Rogers asking for patience and flexibility. We are not going to be able to replicate a traditional school experience using online platforms, but we are going to do whatever we can to provide supports and resources to our students and to our staff. And we are going to do it while carefully considering issues of equity and accessibility. So things like, do people have devices? Do people have access to the internet? How do we get those out to people in a way that doesn't risk spreading any virus? All kinds of things. And again, people's situations at home, who's working, who's not, whose first language is not English and may find some of these online activities really difficult to navigate. So all those factors are being considered. It's terribly complex, but we have several committees working away with input from teachers, ECEs, EAs, principals, trying to come up with the very best solution for our families given the circumstances. So we do ask for your patience and your flexibility. I need to share with you another thing. This will be mostly interesting to our grade 6 parents, I believe, but the board, in spite of having a tentative deal with ETFO, and therefore teachers very likely, if the deal gets ratified, will be able to go on trips as the school year continues. Because of the COVID-19 virus, the school board has canceled all overnight trips for the remainder of the school year. So our grade 6 students will not be going to camp. And depending when or if we get back to school this year, we will talk about what might happen at the end of the year for those students instead of an overnight trip, but at the moment you just need to know that there is no camp for our grade 6 students. I would invite you, all of you, to email me if you have any questions or concerns. I have the most up-to-date information, such as that is at the moment. And we're going to move forward with me as the point person for communication. Teachers are just going to forward any messages from parents to me, and I will respond because I do have the most up-to-date information, and we do not want to risk adding any layer of confusion to what is already seems to be a confusing and uncertain situation. So for now, for these 2 weeks, please just communicate with me and understand that when teachers don't reply to you, but I do instead, that is not because they are being lazy. That is because that is the direction they have been given. After the 2 weeks, it is looking very likely that people will be connecting again with their classroom teachers. Again, I don't have any details on that, and I don't know what that will look like, but I will share everything I know as soon as I know it. So for now, it's me. So if you would like to connect with me directly, you can go to the website and email the school. That gets forwarded, that general mailbox gets forwarded to me, but it's actually easier if you email me at jane.bibby@ugdsb.on.ca. That will come straight to my inbox and only to me, and I will do my very best to respond to your concerns. So I think that's all the information that I need to share with you today. I want you to know that teachers, board staff, senior administration, everybody is working incredibly hard to put together as good a program as possible for learning as we move forward. And it's really important to all of us that we support our students and our families as well as we can. So I hope that all of you are well. I hope that you are able to get through your days, keeping a little bit of positivity in your hearts. I wish you all well and invite you again to contact me via email if you have any concerns or questions. I hope you have a good day. Thank you.